I just like to tell people that to become a successful real estate investor, you need to get some education, you need to get a coach or mentor, and you need to take action. You do those three things, you're going to be well on your way to having a very successful investment career because you've covered the major bases. There are some people that they want to learn everything before they do anything, and they end up having all kinds of knowledge and no real estate. There's other people who will invest at the first chance they get and not really do their homework and pay the price. I had a client in admittedly a hotter real estate market who waived the property inspection before purchase. About $30,000 worth of mold remediation later, she was able to start renting it out. And I don't think she'll ever recover that.
Hmm.
Maybe when she sells the property, but you know, paying 300 or $400 to a property inspector would have almost assuredly saved her that 30 grand because she could have still bought the property, but she would have gone back to the owner and said, okay, you got a mold problem.
Mhm.
So you either knock your price down by 30 grand or I'm walking. And legally, once the owner is notified of something, he can't not disclose it to the next buyer.
Mhm.
So he could say, well, I'm not going to sell to you, but he's legally required to report it to the next person, which means if he doesn't, he can get sued and he'll lose. So I know I was very happy when we paid the inspector to look at those five houses I mentioned, because it turns out that the property manager was actually making up landlord tenant laws as he went. And there was also a huge flooding problem because the property was landscaped so that it sloped in to the basement, not away from it, which meant every time there's a rain, they had a wet
Mhm.
basement. And that was I think it was about $350, and that saved me from investing, 200,000 plus in a bad investment.
Sometimes investors feel like, oh, I can save some money. But if you're in an area where some of those issues tend to rear their ugly head, it's money well spent, where,
Absolutely.
you spend 200 bucks on a sewer scope inspection and might save yourself 10 grand down the road.
That's not something you want in your investment, obviously. Paying for those inspections will prevent you from getting stuck with that money pit, 99 times out of 100.